Hi, hello, and welcome back to another video and another training chit chat. It's been a while, and I've been craving to recording a training chit chat for a while, but I just couldn't come up with something to talk about. But as I said, I came up with something. Not entirely. I asked Bella, my beloved friend, for some advice, because I haven't recorded, I don't think, a single training chit chat with the snow, and it's leaving on Wednesday. Now I'm recording this on a Friday. So I was like, ooh, I kind of want to record one with the snow while we still have it. And what you could probably tell from the title or the thumbnail is that today I'm gonna talk about my favorite races in the game and why they're my favorite. And we're starting here at Marley's farm. So I'm gonna do all my favorite races, or at least as much as I have time for. I put a 25-minute timer and see how much. But this Marley's paddock race, I think. I should have turned the game to English before I logged on. I forgot to do that. I guess I'm just gonna do my best to translate it. But I really like this. This has been a favorite of mine since I started playing the game. Back in 2015, or I don't think I unlocked the race until 2016, but it's one of those races. It's just so easy and like simple and fast, and it gives so much XP that it's just a really nice race to do. And I don't feel like I don't like the other two ones here as much, because like it's just such a simple concept, this whole race, right? And you just like do your little laps and the like around the diagonal. Can you call it diagonal when it's a not square or rectangular paddock? I don't know. But this is a race I really like. Because it's just fast. It gives a lot of XP, and that's something you're gonna see a lot of in this race. Because this is a very common thing for races I like. This is not a race, but we're gonna exchange some trash, or I don't know what you wanna call it, but for cash and XP. It doesn't count as a race, but it trains your horse. I try to do that every day. Oh, I might have to do some shopping soon. Next up is Ty's races here in this paddock over here. I tend to forget these. I still haven't really gotten into my head that these races exist, so a lot of time I forget them and I'll have to come back and do them, but I do really enjoy them. Once again, they're like just very simple show jumping courses, and these one are more realistic than the ones, or the one at Marley's. I think that these might... No, it might not be this one, but I know at least there are a few ones that are based on real, like, exercises, like jumping exercises you can do with your horse. I know at least, like, one, I think, in Moreland it might be. Or maybe I think it's the other race here, I don't know. But I really like these. They feel at least more realistic with the spacing of the jumps from each other, and once again they're pretty fast. They don't give as much XP as Marley's race, but I still really like it. So I like both of these. Maybe I'll talk about other things in between as well, because otherwise I'm just gonna be, oh, I like this race, or I like that race. But these, they're just fast, and you see here, like, it's the, like, turning, and in real life this would be like, oh, to straighten, oh, I'm going the wrong way, to straighten up, like, after you turn to get, like, here's like, oh, you have to get to that obstacle from that one, you need to pass through those cones to train, so you know how to, like, space things and to, like, straighten up here after the turn and stuff. That's, I think, got a bit trained here. So I just like that we have some, you know, realistic realistic like races in the game, because I love the magical ones and unrealistic ones as well. I really like the new updated championships because they give me like Mario Kart vibes, and that's fun gameplay wise. But I also like when we have realistic races. Let's do Steve's race. Steve's race, I did like this race more before they updated Steve's farm, which is like, that is like 3 years ago now, right? Right, because it got updated right before the 10th birthday, I think. Correct? And it turned Starter turned 13 back in September. I know my months, I promise. I've been playing this game for 9 years. I should know when the birthday is. But yeah, so it would have been 3 years since they updated Steve's now. Oh my god. I still like this. It gives a lot of... It's still like cozy and cute. We can turn off the stuff a bit. Like, I really like it. It's like cozy countryside and stuff. But I did prefer the original one because it was so much faster. And it's the same thing. It gives a lot of XP. It's pretty fast. And it's just gotten a little bit longer now. But it doesn't feel as smooth, I guess, to run it anymore. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't like this turn because it's hard to make it and it's just annoying. So I would like move like that tree somewhere else if I were to, or like change the route somewhere, so you have to go around like the feed table or something. If I had designed this, but I was not the designer of this because I don't work for Star Stable. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, I still like this race. It gives a lot of XP and it's really nostalgic, and just Steve's is very cute. I do really love how we have the red barn with the white corners, since like we're next to Silverglade Village, and Silverglade Village are based on like really old school traditional like Swedish architecture, and like little like towns with that super traditional like architecture. I lost the word. Which usually like, we don't have whole towns with this type of architecture anymore. It's more like areas of towns and stuff. But yeah, and another very typical Swedish thing is to have red houses with the white corners and stuff. And that is because in Sweden we have something called Falu rödfärg, or Falu red paint. It's paint made from copper. Because we have a lot of copper. And so it's very cheap to produce, and therefore we started painting a lot of houses like that, just like that one as well. This one. I can't remember if my mouse usually shows up on the recordings, so like this as well. And a little fun fact about houses like that is that if you touch the wall, you will get a light red stain on your hands. Maybe you should... I was like, I should go to... What race should we go to next? I have something I like. I want to go to Moreland, because there is a couple of races in Moreland I like. So, yeah. I just love Silverglade. It is one of my favorite places. I never disliked Silverglade, but it wasn't a favorite back with the old Silverglade. It was kind of... It felt boring. I never felt really anything for it, but I've always loved the manor. But to have Silverglade be so beautiful, and obviously with updated manor we got in November as well, it makes me really happy. It does. So I'm not going to do any like stable chores today. I usually do that always when I'm training, but I'm not gonna do that today. It's a great way to make your shillings. And also it was a great way to work on the Trailblaze path. But I finished with that since like 2 days ago. So now I'm gonna remember to not do my training route and only do the races I really like. The races with Stacy. All 3 of these I really, really like. Ever since they were introduced. And I just realized that it's Friday today, and I think Friday counts as a weekend. And then on weekends, one of the races is different. I just realized that. So we'll see. But once again, they're just very fast. They don't give that much XP. I mean, they give 125, so it's not the lowest. But yeah, I like them. And once again, like, most of these have pretty, like, they don't have that tall, the obstacles aren't that tall, or obstacles, the fences is how you say it in English. In Swedish we call them hinder, which translates to obstacle, usually, in most contexts, so. But I'm trying to make my English vocabulary more accurate. But it's hard with the question and stuff because you're usually not taught these type of things in school. I mean, I wasn't even told the name of a fork in school. I had to figure that out from like listening to people talk. I guess we can do this one as well. I think this is the weekend one with the taller obstacles. I like this one as well. I don't like that one of the races is only for the weekends and one is for the weekdays, mostly because I like saving my quests. If you follow me on Instagram for a while, you might remember last time I did quests, which was a couple of months ago, when Bella and I made some quests that I think came out in like 2020. And we joked about like you have to let them marinate a bit, like they have to sit there and become good, like they age like, you know, like a fine wine. I say yes. Wine is not good, kids. It tastes horrible. I don't know why people like it. I'm 22. If you didn't know, if you didn't read my bio, I'm 22. I've tried a bunch of different alcohol. Not good. It tastes horrible. I haven't tried a single alcohol that I was like, yeah, I drink more than a sip of this. Most things I wouldn't even drink a sip of. Like, I had a sip and I was like, yeah, that's more enough for a lifetime. Which we're really off topic right now. Let's go to Fort Pinda, because there's one race there as well I really like. This is gonna be so, like, can you tell it's been a long time since I recorded in Star Stable? But it's also like we haven't had a lot of things happen over the course of January. Like, I'm recording this on the last of January 31st. And like the updates have been pretty small this month, which is understandable. Like, obviously we have had big things in December, and then towards the end of December, obviously there's holidays and there's not as many people working. We're gonna go down to the beach because that is the race I like. The other ones, not so much. Not even for Pinta one, even if it gives a lot of XP. Oh, let me take my trash. I don't really, and I've grown tired of them over the years. There was a time when I did like almost every race every day when I was younger, like before I was even in high school. That is how long I have been playing this game. So yeah, I grown tired of this, but I like this. Obviously this hasn't been permanent in the game for that long. It used to be an event specific race, and I think a lot of the love towards this specific race is nostalgia based. But I really like just that we can like utilize the how do you say, the pool? It's not the pool, but the beach area in this way. And I do also like that they changed how shallow it is here, because back when this was an event race, it wasn't as shallow water, so even if you wouldn't swim, you wouldn't be able to run at full speed. It took a lot longer, and it kind of broke the flow, I guess you could say, of the race, and it felt a little like annoying and so like I really like that. That's one of those like design changes that's been done that I really like. I don't think there's been a lot of on the races. We're gonna do one that I like it because it's pretty. So let's turn off the snow again so you can see it in its full glory. I love the gardens. Since we got, I didn't used to love this race back when the garden was kind of hidden away. It was annoying to get to. But now when we have this, like, you know, updated garden with updated manor, I've grown to really like this race just because of how beautiful it is. And you know, you're obviously running through the grape fields, which obviously you did before as well, but they look great. And you know, we haven't had this version of the race for very long. Maybe I'll grow tired of it, maybe I'll change my mind in the future, but at the time of recording I do really like this race. Because I like all the like beautiful fences and hedges with all the flowers, which obviously we had a lot of these in the old one as well, but you just know it's a very pretty race. And I sort of love running under these birch trees because these new updated birch trees are amazing. Yeah, so it's just pretty, and it doesn't actually take that long. It probably takes about the same time as it did before as well, but it feels pretty fast. And it's like I have the roses on my horse. I have rose gardens. I feel like it's suiting. It's on brand. It's very cute. So this one gets for the aesthetics. That's why this is here. Yeah. So obviously this is gonna be my favorite races at the time. Maybe in 2 years I'll make another video and it's gonna be my favorite races then, because my favorite races from 2 years ago, or well, from 5 years ago, more like it, aren't the same. Some of them, like Marley's race, have remained, but a lot of others have like been dethroned. So yeah, for example, I used to really like Pauline's races that she had, but with updated manner I don't as much, and I already lost a lot of love for them before with the old one as well, because I just done them so many times. It used to be where I started my training every single day for many years, and even more so when the purple races was introduced. Essentially anything that's a purple race is not going to be something I enjoy, because I don't feel happy when I complete them, to be honest. I used to love the working incantation, but I just haven't loved it as much right now since the update. I don't know why. It doesn't feel as natural anymore to run them. I just get stuck on things, so we're gonna ignore that. I do enjoy the nightly stuff. I don't know if we would count that as a race. Maybe we would. But we got a more medieval themed update this week, and I haven't had time to check it out. And I think there's gonna be quests and stuff, and I don't want to accidentally trigger any cutscenes. I just realized I was going on autopilot. You know, I run through those gates for the last 8 years, just running straight to Jasper to do his races. Even if I wasn't meant to do that now, it still happened. We're gonna have another pretty new race here. We can also turn off the filter effects, because we're gonna do this fox themed one, which if I remember correctly, I believe this race was created by an intern, which is really cool because it's such a unique thing. And this is why it's always important to work with like new people when you work on creative stuff and hear other people's opinions, because some people think of things that no one else have ever thought of before. And I just love these races, like running through those leaf piles, and the foxes running around, and it's just so cute. And like we have a little fox, and I remember when this released, and this is one of those where like I saw it, and I was like, we have to do requests, like now, and we did. And even Bella was like, I can actually consider doing this race. Bella is infamous for not training her horses and then buying more horses. I think she recently told me I should be proud because she only had... I think she did like 12 pages. I don't think it was 12 pages, that's a lot more. I think she had like 2 pages of untrained horses or something. So, you know, it's a lot less. I think she used to have like 5. I just keep exposing her. She's gonna get payback one day. She's gonna take out revenge on me someday. I need to remember that. And we have one more race here in Golden Hills Valley that is on my favorites list. It's like, obviously this is not in the order of favorites, it's more like easy access. So like this is no order my favorite races in the game. But I do... well, we only have 4 minutes left until my alarm tells me I have to stop recording. Oh no. Maybe I'll run over a little bit because I think I have a couple more races I would like to do. Obviously it's not everything. I haven't had the time to... This is the thing with me. I always end up recording when I have other things I need to do later in the day. And then when like I have a day off, I was about to go do the fishing because that's on instinct. It's Friday. I fish on Fridays. I fish on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. And sometimes Thursdays and Saturdays. No, Thursdays and Mondays, sorry. Saturdays are over like there. That's too far away. And Tuesdays are over here. That's also way too far away. But always fish on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. And we're gonna do the Golden Leaf Gauntlet. This was my #1 favorite race from that it was released for like 2-3 years. It came out in 2020 if I remember correctly. And I still really like it, but I don't have the same feeling of like, I don't want to train, so I go do this race because it's gonna make me so happy. It motivates me to continue training. Because I used to do that. It would be like, I don't feel like training. I go do Golden Leaf Gauntlet, and I was like, yeah, I can train a little bit. It doesn't do that anymore, but I still really, really like it. So it's gonna be on this list, and it's a really good race. I think this is one of the earliest races done by SM Silverforce. But yeah, she does a lot of great races. I think a lot of the races I've shown her today are actually made by her. But I do like this one. It's still great. It still holds up. I think just I've done it so much that I grew a little bit tired of it, but I've had a while now where I haven't done this much, so I do like it more again, and I think it has a chance to regain its former glory if the bugs in this paddock, like you could see here somewhere, it's like, okay, you can't see it, but like I ran into like a invisible wall. If that bug can be fixed, I would probably like it more as well again. But that goes for all the races. Like here, you see, there was a wall. There's a wall here. No, I think it's the little, like the smaller jumping stuff that's in here. I think that's what's causing that. Like the colliders of the fences are still there when the fences aren't. So yes, I see another trash. I really love my Nordica. I kind of want to buy more ones. But, yeah. Okay, let's see. What races have we done? What other races are like, I really, really love these ones? Like, some that I might not have time to get to. But I really like the Snakebite race. I can't remember what it's called. That's in the Jorvik Stables arena. We can do that. I think that's the only purple race that's on here. And it used to be one of those that just like Golden Leaf Gauntlet was like, oh, this will motivate me to train. Ever since they made purple, I kind of have to force myself to do it some days. and like that doesn't make it sound like it's a favorite. I still really like the race in itself. It's literally the only fact it's a purple race. And purple races make me lose motivation because it doesn't feel like... That's my alarm telling me stop recording, and I'll say no. 5 more minutes, please. And I accidentally hit my microphone. But yeah, where was I? The purple race, when I finish purple race, it doesn't feel like I have accomplished anything. Because it just shows back up again. And if I don't feel like I accomplished something when I put down effort to do something and I do it, and then it doesn't feel like an accomplishment to finish it, that makes me lose motivation. If I don't feel motivated, and it's not like I'm not motivated to do this race again. It's more like I just lost motivation to continue playing the game for today. Like, I will log off now. It's no longer fun. And that was a real big thing from when they released the purple races originally. It's like suddenly, it's like, especially since Pauline's races, the ones I've been doing as the first races every day for many, many, many years, were a part of that. I would do those, and then it's like, yeah, I don't want to play the game anymore. Like, this entirely ruined my personal experience of playing the game because I don't get any visual feedback from, like, there not being any quests here anymore that I have finished something. And therefore I don't get the dopamine that you get from playing the game, from finishing things. That's what makes playing games fun. I've gone full game designer mode on you now. And especially as a person, I'm neurodivergent. I have some things on paper, and I probably have more things that are not on paper, because anyone who is neurodivergent knows the trials and the gaslighting you have to go through to get diagnosed. But I suspect I have something with a dopamine deficiency. There are a couple of neurodivergencies. Most commonly known is probably ADHD, but there are other ones as well. And I don't know what I would have, because I'm not an expert. I just like read up on like these are the symptoms of different things, and I'm like, this is something a little bit too close to home. But yeah, I still really like the race itself. It's well done. It's fun in the same way that the Golden Leaf Gauntlet is. And like right now, I feel motivated. It's like, oh, that was really fun. And I did this, and then it's back, and it's like, oh, I didn't actually accomplish anything. I know I did logically, but my brain don't give me the little chemicals that tells me I did, so it doesn't feel as good. And we're gonna do one thing here as well. We're gonna do the basic dressage, because I actually like the dressage. Is it bugged? Yes. Does that annoy me when the bugs happen? Yes. But this specific routine, which is I think is the easiest one, I also do like the one at the manor. I don't like the loop-de-loop that much. It's kind of annoying with the, like, since you usually have to like skip a gate, and it's kind of hard to do. I can do it pretty well on my laptop. I have a gaming laptop, which has a pretty good keyboard, but on my desktop, I have a gaming desktop, but I have not yet had a time or chance to invest in a gaming keyboard, and I meant to do so, but the thing is, I want to find one with like good fast switches like I have in my laptop keyboard, like obviously not the same because that's for a laptop, but where I can do a lot of fast inputs and stuff, and it will react, but also that isn't very loud. A lot of gaming keyboards are mechanical and loud mechanical, and my current keyboard is also mechanical. It's not made for gaming though, and you can often hear it in my recordings, and it annoys me a lot when I do the editing. So yeah, I've struggled to find one I like, and it also can't be too expensive because I'm a college student or a university student. And the one thing everyone should know about us university students is that we do not have a lot of money. So, not too expensive, and no, that's where I know I shouldn't have, but yeah, those are things that annoys me. Like, that was a bug, obviously, that's like, oh, you're not on the path, and it's like, I've already finished it, you've already given me a checkpoint. And that makes it annoying. That makes it lower on the list. But usually, I'm not gonna do it again. But usually when I do that, you know, and it's not bugged, I do really enjoy it because it's, once again, it gives a lot of XP, and I think that one isn't that hard. Same goes for the one at the manor. It isn't super hard. It's already been 5 minutes again. Okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye on my watch. It's like there's so many more races I want to show you guys that I really like. But we're gonna do one final one, which also one I've liked for a really long time. It's end up a little bit lower on the list because there's so many other good races that give a lot of XP. But this is also an old one. I think I've shown so many new ones. I think, or newer ones that's from within the last 5 years. I think it's time to show another older one. And that is Lizzie's race, or show jumping, or whatever it's called in English. Also, anybody else remember when her name was Lisa? Yeah. There used to be a lot of characters with the same names back in the day in Star Stable. Like we had 2 Clementine. We had 2 Lisa. We had 2 Donald. Trying to think of if there were any more. I don't think so. And then they decided because it could get confusing, they decided to change all of these characters' names. So for example, I suppose he's seamstress. He's not a seamstress. I don't know what in English what the male version of seamstress would be, but the guy with the sewing in Silverlight Village, he's called Daxton today. He used to be called Donald, and then we also have the Donald the built whatever here in Jarlaheim. And one moment, let me have a sip of water. I can come back. I've had my water. Then we had Lisa here, and obviously Soul Rider Lisa. And then we also had Clementine in the cafe at the mall, and Clementine, who's still called Clementine, who runs a little fruit stand, I think, in Aiden's Plaza. So those are all the duplicate names I can think of. Should we do one last race? There are a lot of really good ones. But if I could only choose one last race to show you that this is a race I really personally like, I think we're gonna have to go to the South Hoof. And I went the wrong direction for a trailer. We're gonna go to the South Hoof farm, to the rescue ranch, because there are some really good races there as well. I think I also realized I like a lot of places where there are a bunch of races, but that I have favorites. So in Moreland, it was the paddock races that were my favorites. And there are a lot of races in York Stables as well, but not with the same NPC, and so on. And I like the races at home as well, and there are also a lot of them. And now we're gonna go to there, South Hoof Farm, and do some show jumping, because there's a fun, nice little show jumping course here. Once again, there are more races here as well, but that is the favorite one. And these have also become races where I don't really feel like doing any more races, and they'd be like, let's go to the rescue ranch. And it's this race and this one I really like. I do like the working rotation as well. The third race, I can't remember what it's called on top of my head. I don't like as much, and it's because it's a lot longer. But it is kind of fun to run that race and just look at the size of the props. Do that with a lot of races. There's a race in the paddock outside of Dundalk as well, where it's there's a traffic cone that's the size of your horse. And yeah, see, that was very fast. I didn't even have time to talk. So yeah, really fast race. Really like that. but I said I wasn't gonna do it. Let's do this so we can just look at like the big cat. There's some big cats in this and a big seagull. Like, if you stop and look, you're gonna be like, actually, yeah, that is huge. What are you doing? So yeah, like, I don't dislike this race, but it isn't gonna be like, this is one of those races I'm like, oh, let's go to this race. So we start here. That, there, huge cat. That's like me-sized. And then we continue onward towards here. And we go out in the water. And we're gonna look there. Like, you see it from this far away. That is a seagull bigger than my head. Like, that seagull's bigger than my head. That's like me-sized seagull. What are they feeding the animals here? Huh? What are they doing? Because like that's not a naturally sized seagull. That was not a naturally sized cat up here. And then we have another cat that's running around, and like, it's smaller, still really big. Bigger than like cats running after us. I think these fluffy cats are smaller though than the non-fluffy cats. I think it looked like that when I checked recently. But still. Like, still. Why are they so big? What business do they have being that big? So yeah. Very off topic, but yeah, we did a little extra race. You got some bonus races. You'll be fine. Let's find a little nice place. Like, maybe we can stand under the tree to end this little video. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this little training chit chat of looking at and talking about, not so much talking about, but looking at some of my favorite races in Star Stable, special races I like to do maybe when I don't feel very motivated to train. It's like, these races I could run around and do anyway, and I might not do the other races next to them just because I don't have the energy for it. There are a couple of more that could make this list, but yeah, I don't have the time. I have places to be, that's the sad truth of being an adult. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and maybe commenting or subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye!